If you wake up every morning and the first thing you notice is how your ankles look like they've been pumped full of air, I see you. You sit on the edge of the bed. You try to slide your feet into shoes that used to fit just fine. But that familiar tightness hits, heavy, hot pressure. Every step suddenly feels like walking through mud. By midday, the swelling has crept higher. Your socks leave deep red lines. You've already cancelled the walk you promised yourself yesterday. You've stopped joining the grandkids at the park because you're afraid you'll slow everyone down. You catch yourself in the mirror and think, I let this happen. The quiet shame sits right there with the swelling every single day. None of this is your fault. Your body isn't broken just because you got older. It's simply begging for the one thing the modern world stopped giving it decades ago. But here's what they've buried since 1969. A $3 oil that actually eliminates swollen ankles overnight. Permanently. The same doctors pushing water pills that leave you dizzy and exhausted have zero interest in something this cheap that works at the root. The companies selling expensive creams and compression socks that only mask the problem for a few hours? Same story. Meanwhile, families like mine in Hangzhou have passed down the real answer for generations. Quietly. Because it actually ends the cycle. You've been living inside the wrong story. They told you it was poor circulation, too much salt, or normal aging. So you blamed yourself every time the swelling returned. But what if tomorrow morning your ankles were actually slim again? Cool to the touch. Shoes slip on without a second thought. You walk out the door feeling light on your feet for the first time in years. That change is closer than you think. But here's what they've buried since 1969. A $3 oil that actually eliminates swollen ankles overnight. Permanently. Back in 1969, the big pharmaceutical push began. Water pills and expensive creams became the standard answer, while this one simple dirt-cheap oil that actually wakes up your lymphatic river got quietly sidelined to the back shelf of every pharmacy. The companies making money on repeat prescriptions and $40 compression socks had zero interest in something that could end the problem for good. Families like mine in Hangzhou kept the knowledge alive anyway, passing it down because we saw what it could do when nothing else worked. And that decision is about to change your mornings starting tomorrow. Let me show you what is really happening inside your body right now. Picture your lymphatic system as a slow-moving river that is supposed to carry away extra fluid, waste, and inflammation from your tissues every single day. When you were younger, that river flowed freely, keeping everything balanced. But over the years of sitting more, eating the processed foods the modern world pushes, and the natural slowing that comes with age, that river has grown sluggish. The fluid starts to pool in the lowest parts of your body, your ankles and feet, because the river cannot keep up with the load. That is why the water pills only work for a few hours. They force your kidneys to pull water out, but they do nothing to clear the stagnant fluid trapped in the tissues or to wake up the tired river itself. The creams and socks squeeze from the outside, but the pressure builds again the moment you take them off. Nothing you have tried has reached the real cause because nothing has reached the river. But the old traditions we understand have a different way. Certain oils have the power to stimulate that lymphatic flow directly through the skin. The $3 oil I am talking about is castor oil, the same one my family has used for generations in the herb shop back in Hangzhou. It is thick, rich, and inexpensive, the kind you can find in any pharmacy for just a few dollars a bottle. When you warm it slightly and massage it upward into your ankles and lower legs, it penetrates deep into the tissues. It gently draws out the trapped fluid while calming the inflammation that keeps the river clogged. The ricinoleic acid in the oil acts like a natural signal to your body to move the lymph along. You can actually feel the warmth spread and the heaviness start to lift within minutes. This is not magic. It is simply giving your body the one tool it has been missing to do the job it was always meant to do. That is why the swelling can disappear literally overnight. The river starts flowing again. The fluid drains where it belongs, instead of pooling around your ankles. And when you keep doing it, the improvement becomes permanent because you are addressing the root instead of fighting the symptom. But here's the part that still surprises even me after all these years. Most people still get the swelling back in a few weeks unless they fix the hidden trigger that's feeding the sluggish river every single day. Stay with me for the next couple of minutes, and I'll show you exactly what that trigger is. One of the people who came to me was Margaret, a 68-year-old retired librarian from Charlotte. She had lived with swollen ankles for almost 7 years. Every morning she would sit on the edge of her bed just like you, staring at shoes she used to wear without thinking, and feel the hot sting of shame rising in her chest because she believed she had let herself go, even though she ate reasonably well and tried to stay active. She had stopped volunteering at the local library story hour because she could not stand for long. She had given up her evening walks with neighbors because the swelling made her legs feel like lead by dinner time. She told me she felt like she was disappearing from her own life, one cancelled plan at a time. She had seen 3 different doctors. They gave her diuretics that made her lightheaded and tired. They told her to elevate her feet and wear compression stockings that left marks, and still did not stop the problem from returning stronger each week. Margaret was at the end of her rope when she found her way to me. I showed her the simple castor oil protocol we are about to talk about. She started that very night. Within 3 days, the heavy pressure was noticeably less. By the end of the first week, her ankles looked almost normal in the morning. She could slip her shoes on without struggle. After a full month of doing it consistently, she was back volunteering at the library, standing comfortably for the story hour, and taking her evening walks again without dread. The last time she wrote to me, she said she had not felt this light on her feet in years. She was back doing the things she loved, and the swelling had stayed away because she had finally given her body what it needed at the root. That is exactly what I'm about to give you. The same thing I gave Margaret, the same protocol you can start tonight with what you already have at home or can pick up for $3. But before I walk you through every single step so you can't mess it up, there's one more pattern I have to show you that most people never connect to their ankles. And once you see it, everything finally clicks. Here is how you do it, step by step, so you can follow along easily and remember it without notes. First, get yourself a bottle of pure cold-pressed castor oil. It should be the kind without additives, the one that costs just a few dollars at any pharmacy or online. You will also need a soft cloth or an old sock you do not mind getting oily, some plastic wrap, and optionally a hot water bottle or heating pad. That is all. Before bed, take a warm shower or soak your feet in warm water for 5 minutes so your skin is soft and open. Pat your ankles and lower legs dry. Pour about a tablespoon of the castor oil into your palm and warm it by rubbing your hands together. Start at your ankles and massage upward in firm, gentle strokes toward your knees. Use both hands, working in circles and long strokes, always moving the fluid upward. Spend at least 10 full minutes on each leg. You will feel the oil sink in and the tissues start to soften almost immediately. The warmth and the pressure of your hands wake the lymphatic river. Once you have massaged both legs well, take the soft cloth or cut an old sock and soak it generously with more castor oil. Wrap it around each ankle and lower calf like a gentle compress. Cover the cloth with plastic wrap to hold the moisture and keep the oil from staining your sheets. If you like, place a warm heating pad or hot water bottle over the plastic for 20 minutes. The gentle heat helps the oil penetrate even deeper and encourages the fluid to move. Then simply go to bed. In the morning, remove the wraps, wash your legs with mild soap and water, and notice how much lighter they feel. Do this every night for the first 2 weeks. After that, you can do it 3 or 4 nights a week for maintenance. Many people, including Margaret, see dramatic results the very first morning. Ankles that were puffy and hot become cool and slim. Shoes go on easily. The heavy feeling is gone. Keep going and the improvement holds because you are retraining your body's natural drainage system instead of just masking the symptom. The people who follow this tell me the same things every time. One woman said her ankles felt cool and normal for the first time in years when she put her feet on the floor in the morning. Another man told me he could finally stand in the kitchen and chop vegetables without the swelling creeping up by dinner time. They describe it as if someone turned down the volume on the discomfort they had simply learned to live with. That is what happens when you finally give the river the help it needs. But here's the part that still surprises even me after all these years. Most people still get the swelling back in a few weeks unless they fix the hidden trigger that's feeding the sluggish river every single day. What you just learned is the fast relief, the thing that quiets the swelling right away and lets you start living again tonight. But if you have ever wondered why this showed up at all, why it keeps trying to come back even after you try other things, and why some people get dramatic permanent results while others only get temporary relief, stay with me for the next couple of minutes. This is the part I tell the people who sit across from me when they say, I just want this to stay gone for good. Because the river only stays flowing when you feed it at the source. Over the years, I've noticed the same pattern again and again. The swollen ankles you see are the surface symptom. Underneath that is a deeper sluggishness in your circulation and the body's natural fluid clearing system that quietly steals your evenings with the grandkids, your confidence in the mirror, and the simple joy of slipping on shoes without wincing. The lymphatic river I mentioned earlier does not just slow down on its own. It slows because the gut, the place where so much of your body's balance begins, is not getting what it needs to support proper fluid movement and reduce the low-grade inflammation that keeps the tissues holding on to extra water. The chain is always the same. The ankles swell because fluid is not clearing well. The fluid does not clear well because circulation and lymph are sluggish, and that sluggishness is fed every day by what is happening in the gut. The gut needs 3 simple things to steady that circulation and help the body clear fluid the way it did when you were younger. Good living bacteria, the fiber those bacteria love to eat, and the healing compounds they produce once they are properly fed. In the old traditions, we have used a fermented drink for generations that delivers all 3 at once. It is gentle, it works with your body instead of against it, and when the gut is supported this way the circulation steadies, the lymphatic river flows freely again, and the ankles stop swelling the way they have been. That is what I give the people who come to me alongside the oil protocol, and these are the ones who get the best, longest-lasting results. The oil gives you the quick relief tonight, but the gut support is what keeps the river flowing, so the swelling does not keep returning month after month. Without it, the same sluggishness that created the problem in the first place keeps sneaking back in. With it, you finally break the cycle for good. I make my own kombucha at home because I have the time and the knowledge. But for everyone watching online who can't brew their own, I give BoochBod Kombucha Gummies. The link is in the description, or you can search BoochBod Kombucha Gummies on Amazon. Margaret from Charlotte is back in her garden now, kneeling comfortably to plant flowers without the old dread of swollen ankles the next morning. She walks with her neighbors in the evenings and stands through the whole library story hour with a smile. The same road that opened for her is open for you too. It is never too late. Your body at 65, 70, 75 or 80 still knows exactly how to do this work once you give it the simple things it has been asking for all along. The swelling does not have to keep stealing your days. The light feeling you remember from years ago can come back, and it can stay. If this helped you even a little, hit subscribe right now so you don't miss the next simple tradition that can change how you feel. Share this with someone you know who is dealing with the same heaviness in their legs. And if you try the oil tonight, come back and tell me in the comments what you noticed in the morning. I read every single one. Until next time.